Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we're so excited to have you again. Still talking about 2023 elections, which will be coming up in the month of February 2023. There is still a lot of development coming up, and we're still talking about Peter Obi and also the support he has been able to capture thus far, and some of the reactions of Nigerians towards his emergence as, the Labour Party presidential candidate. Right now, one of the political juggernaut and a governor of a southeastern state have decided to change his confession about Peter Obi. Don't forget that before now, there had been a lot of castigation coming in from southeast against Peter Obi, but most of them have decided to align with him. And also, in another development, one of Nigeria's foremost human rights lawyer has also spoken about Peter Obi, and for him, he says he's still having a feel of the PDP membership in Peter Obi. We're going to also be looking at that, and also Peter Obi has sent a strong message out to political leaders, especially to Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Atiku Abubakar, with other aspirants who are seeking for the political position of the president. We are going to be looking at all of this. According to the news, the governor of Ebonyi State, Governor Dave Umahi, says, contrary to raging reports, he is not against the ambition of Peter Obi, the Labour Party presidential candidate. Mr. Umahi, the leader of the All Progressive Congress and chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum, earlier this week said his state will not follow any other political agenda in the 2023 elections aside from voting for his party. The talk was deemed a jab at Mr. Obi, a former governor of Anambra State who has been making sharp inroads in his native southeast since he picked the Labour Party ticket. Mr. Obi is the only president from the Igbo ethnic stock on the presidential ticket of a major political party in the 2023 elections. The region has not had a shot at the Nigerian presidency since the advent of the Fourth Republic. Uchenna Oji, an information commissioner in Ebonyi State, said in a statement on Friday that Mr. Umahi deeply appreciates Obi's courage in his campaign. Umahi never said that Obi was going nowhere and that he, Umahi, does not believe in the nation's president of Igbo extraction. The governor is a member of the All Progressive Congress and shall support the party in all their states and national elections as a good party member. He believes that the political party members should defend their parties during election and people should be allowed to freely vote for candidates of their choice. And meanwhile, in a related development, popular lawyer and human rights activist Femi Falana, in an interview with Arise TV, took out time to talk about Peter Obi and his difference with other political party when he was asked to talk about Peter Obi and the fact that he portrays himself different from all politicians, given that he had been a member of PDP and that is full of the same set of politicians. Femi Falana reacted thus. He said, frankly speaking, I am very reluctant to discuss individuals, but since Mr. Peter Obi is contesting under the Labour Party, he has to study the programs and manifesto of the Labour Party. I have listened to him going around, but he is still talking like a PDP member. So if he is not embracing the Labour Party, he should familiarize himself with the programs and manifesto of the party. He must go out there and let the world know that he has forgotten the past and now he is identifying himself with the Nigerian workers and the Nigerian people. So that is the challenge that is before him. Meanwhile, also in a development that has to do with his position on being stingy and also what is expected of other politicians, re-emphasized on Peter Obi debunked the notion that he is a stingy politician, saying he prefers to use public funds for public good. This is as he appealed to Nigerian politicians to be accountable with public funds they have been entrusted with. The former Anambra State governor made this known at the Mater the Catholic Church on the occasion of an interdenominational prayer meeting organized by the Catholic Action of Nigeria Umahi Diocese chapter on Saturday, July 23rd, 2022. According to reports, the event had in attendance dignitaries which include Abia State governorship candidate of Labour Party Dr. Alex Otis, Senator Victor Ume of Anambra State, the Methodist prelate Carl Uche, Christian Association of Nigeria, Abia State Chairman Apostle Agomo, and Abia State Chairman Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, among others. While making the speech, Obi said, I am not stingy. I use public funds for public good. The former governor also urged Nigerians to subject all the presidential candidates in 2023 election to proper scrutiny, warning that failure to do that may result to anarchy. Obi described as unacceptable that despite the huge resources government has deposited in Nigeria, many people still endure hunger and don't know when the next meal will come. He reiterated that he never took anything nor received anything from anybody while he was governing Anambra State, adding that he preserved the state's fund for the Anambra people. Obi also harped on the need to transform the Nigerian economy from consumption to production, noting that as a president, within 2 years, massive development will span across the states and make border cities to be won. In a speech, Oti said the time has come for Nigeria and Abia State to be taken over by a fresh political party. He said Obi shared and practices frugality. If we want to fix this country, we must have to cut the cost of governance. Obi had earlier made a stop in the residence of Governor Abia State, Okezikbezu, before proceeding to the event. Quite interesting. But first of all, it's important for us to look at some of the issues that have been talked about. One of it is there's some of the things that Femi Falana had raised about, Peter Obi working in sync with, the policy and programs of the people. It's something we need to look at. But, right now, the situation that we have found ourselves, what is most important for most Nigerians is seeing the country being delivered from the hands of poverty and mostly insecurity. I think there had been so much has not been asked in that area, especially insecurity, on how it's going to be handled. But then, what this guy said, the Femi Falana had said, is on the issue of the programs and also the policies of Labour Party, which will be different from what other political parties have rolled out. But I feel that when it comes to leadership, what is most profound is not even the policy and the program of the political party, but the individual himself. Most people come up with that policy and program of the party, but what we end up seeing is their individual baggages that was brought into leadership. Some of them, it was a baggage of, corruption and baggage of insecurity and all of that. And before you know, you start seeing those things being rolled out. I feel that Peter Obi has what it takes because if you've been listening to him, you realize that Peter Obi is very consistent on how he will hijack Nigeria from where we are currently, especially when you listen to him talk about the economy of the country. He's always very emphatic on the issue of consumption and production, that he intends to roll out, a production plan for the country where we will be producing virtually everything being used in the state and reduce the rate of import for consumption, which is most paramount and which will go an extra mile to improve the monetary value of our naira and also our GDP. But however, the issue of looking at, the track record of other presidential aspirant by Nigerian is one thing we must not take for levity. Look at today what is happening in the country. Situation whereby terrorists have even sent a warning to the president that if he doesn't take time, he will be also kidnapped. I mean, that is the height of it, just to prove that there is nothing we can do. And even the messages we are hearing about capturing of these so-called hoodlums is not interesting to the ears. They are taking out Nigerian soldiers, while in our own case, they are demanding that they should be captured and brought alive. For what purpose? What will it go? What change will it bring to the insecurity situation in the country? It makes no sense. However, he has made his point known. That's talking about Peter Obi, and the ball is in the court of Nigeria for us to decide who to vote. I would suggest that we vote the right candidate who will change the narrative of the country. That's where we like to leave it. Go to a conversation. Let's